This is Carl Eller, and you're watching the One Bar and Lepagas show.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lepagas show. I'm One Bar with Lepagas, and in this episode, we're gonna be diving in to see how those free agent signings have done so far. It's early, but you know what? We got some grades for them.
Yeah, we can't really grade the draft class, which is something we kind of do at this point most years. Since the draft class hasn't played much, we're looking at our free agent signings. But before we hop in that, remember, as always, this episode is brought to you by WinView Games, the nation's sports prediction leader and home for Vikings live and pregame prop contests. We know each and every one of you live and breathe Minnesota Vikings football, so put your Vikings knowledge to the test. If you haven't downloaded this app right now, do it. It's in the description. Play against other people in free or live money contests. First, $100, risk-free, absolutely risk-free. I know, and One Bar knows this is the app for you guys.
No brainer. Hit it up. Use the link. Let's do this. So I got 6 free agents we're going to be going over. I may miss a couple of ones that we're not going to count, but these are the big signings. We're just going to give them a quick grade. As always, comments below. Give us your grade. Maybe who the best signing is so far, who maybe the worst one, whatever's in your heart. But let's start with Xavier Woods, our new safety. Paired him up with Hitman, 1-year contract.
Yeah, Xavier Woods, a guy we haven't heard a whole ton about, not in a negative way or not in a positive way. He's made a few plays. I'm gonna give him a B. I guess he's been fine. I haven't really seen him struggle too much, so I'm gonna give him a B.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's what we expected. I think he's done good against the run defense. You got to put in the perspective. He's 1.5 million. He's the 53rd highest paid safety in the league. He's done good enough. He's a 1-year stopgap. I give him a C.
Oh, I haven't seen a game yet where I'm blaming something on Xavier Woods. Like, oh my God, Xavier Woods blew that play, or he's never been in the mix for turn of the game at all. And I at the same point, I think he's had 1 interception. I feel like he picked off 1. Did he? Or am I making?
He's also never been in the mix for stud of the game.
He hasn't. That's a good point. That's fair. That's very fair.
All right. So right now, I think it's fair to say Xavier Woods, kind of what we expected. Not an all-star, not a turd. Moving on to let's stay on the defensive side of the ball. Defensive line, Dalvin Tomlinson. Tomlinson, to put it in perspective, he's the 18th highest paid defensive tackle in the league right now. PFF has him rated as the 13th best D tackle in the league.
Yeah, this is one where I don't get his PFF ranking. I don't see it. I don't see him stuffing the run, which is what we need. Our run defense has been horrible. We're getting up over 100 yards every single game. That's supposed to be Tomlinson's wheelhouse. Maybe he's pressuring the quarterback. Well, I don't know. I don't see it. I'm gonna give him a C-.
Oh wow, yeah, he's definitely his grade is based off of his pressures. He's played better against getting after the quarterback. He only has 1 sack, but he has a handful of pressures. I'm actually giving him a B. I think he's done fine. Would I like the run defense to be better? Yeah, but I think Tomlinson is pulling his weight, you should say, and they're kind of moving him around in different positions. So I like it. I'll take it. Let's move to let's stay on the defense side of the ball. Everson Griffin, $1 million, very late signing, but a very important signing.
I'll let you start off because I don't want to be greedy.
Yeah, he is like I said, he's $1 million. He's got 4 sacks. Outplayed any really expectations I had for him, no doubt about it. When you look at all the defensive ends in the league, he's playing like a top 20 defensive end right now. A guy that was supposed to be a rotational guy is pretty much being a full-time player. So you can't give this anything but an A. There's no way.
Oh, you can give it something better than A. You can give it an A+. And that's what this is. It's an A+. Everson Griffin's, like you said, exceeded expectations, way beyond expectations. And he's playing a lot more than we thought he would. Like you said, I mean, he's basically been this, starter opposite Daniil Hunter. He's in there all the time, making plays, huge plays. He has had a couple penalties on him, but you get that with Everson Griffin. But he comes up big when the Vikings need it the most. And, yeah, I'm thrilled. Feels like Everson Griffin is 6 years ago.
Wow. We'll see if he can keep this pace, keep it up. But yeah, this is wonderful. Let's go to something that maybe isn't as wonderful. Let's go to Bashaud Breeland, our still current starting cornerback opposite Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, Bashaud Breeland. There's a couple things going on with Bashad Breeland. Number one, he's playing the field is atrocious. The guy is horrible. He's like the 100, and I think he went up to the 103rd ranked corner or whatever.
Do we need to talk about Breeland anymore? Can we just give him our grade?
There's one thing I do want to mention. He gets an A+ in harassing the Vikings fans on Twitter, telling them to suck on his Johnson last week after the game.
I didn't
Very inappropriate.
I didn't know people said Johnson anymore. So
yeah, he did. He went with the old Johnson term, and I don't think he was talking about the bratwurst.
Yeah. F. I don't care. He was a cheap option as well, but I don't care. He could have been.
I feel like you should give me a case of beer back for that bet.
I mean, the bet was that he was going to start. I won that bet. I didn't say he was going to be fantastic by any means. I say he's going to start.
I just feel like you owe it to me.
I don't know you nothing. Nick Vigil, linebacker.
I'm gonna let you start because this is an interesting one to me.
It is interesting. Here's what I love about Nick Vigil is he's out there. He is trying to make plays. He is hitting people hard. But when you really look at it, I mean, his run defense isn't very good. His pass defense is just fine. He's not like he's a liability out there, but his intensity is what I love. He's got a sack. He's got an interception. Again, a guy that isn't getting paid top dollar. He was a guy that came in, won a starting job for now. Overall, I'm going to give him a C. He's not a liability by any means. I don't think he's a drop-off from Eric Wilson. I think he's just fine.
You said he's got a sack, an interception. Well, he also has a touchdown. And this was a guy I wasn't even sure was going to make the team. I thought he was one of these signings that could kind of go the Kendall Wright route, where so kind of not a big name, but a decent sized name, a guy but wasn't allowed to make the team. He came in the first 2 games. He was arguably our best defensive player there. He's kind of cooled off a little bit, but my expectations were basically nil for this guy. The fact that he's had the impact he's had, I'm giving him an A.
Wow. All right. Well, we definitely differ there. I like I said, I love his intensity, but his run game, he's not a guy who's going to stop the run.
Yeah, we do this video again in 4 games, and it might dip quite a bit, but I was pretty impressed with his first 2 games.
Agreed. I do love me some Nick Vigil. Another guy that I do love me some, and that is our beautiful shiny punter, Jordan Berry. Late signing into the season, scooped him up from the Steelers. And spoiler alert, this guy's an A. I'm not even going into it. I love the fact that we can count on a guy that can just come out and boot the hell out of the ball.
Yeah, he boots the hell out of the ball. I mean, he's flipped field position for the Vikings so many times, gotten them out of some really bad spots. He's kept the Vikings in some games where they could have been blown out just with his ability to pin other teams inside the 15. So Jordan Berry's been way beyond expectations. Definitely an A. And you know what? Done a hell of a job holding the ball too.
He has, averaging almost 49 yards a punt, 5 inside the 20. Love it. Thank you, Pittsburgh, for this beautiful gift you've given us.
The sweetest berry I've ever tasted.
Oh, really? Not me. D.D. Westbrook. 7 targets, 5 receptions, 46 yards, averaging 5 yards a punt return. We paid him about $1 million bones.
I mean, I guess the positive for him is we didn't pay him a whole hell of a lot, but this is PP Westbrook. I'm going to give him a D. That makes sense. He's D.D. Westbrook. He's getting a D. This hasn't done much. He hasn't really broken off a punt. He actually ran backwards probably more than he's ran forward. He's had 1 or 2 catches, so we haven't just got a whole lot of D.D. Westbrook yet.
He's got 5 catches, damn it. You show those catches some respect they deserve.
Oh, I don't remember him.
Yeah, nobody does. I mean, KJ Osborne, the emergence of him pretty much pushed D.D. Westbrook down the depth chart. What I do love about D.D. is it's kind of like when Marcus Sherrills was back there. At least when they're punting it, we know he's going to catch it. I don't have any issues with him catching the ball. D is fair. I'll give him a D. High expectations were a lot higher. I always do this with guys, Kendall Wrights, Tajay Sharps. I think they're just going to come here and blow up,
and they don't.
We'll see. Patrick Peterson, the big, shiny, beautiful signing this offseason that when it happened, I about pooped my pants because there was no rumblings about it. What do you give him, Double P?
Well, he's kind of at a sneaky, quiet, really, really strong season for the Vikings. Finally just starting to get some recognition for how well he's played. Hasn't been heavily targeted by opposing quarterbacks, but big plays last week against the Lions. I don't know how you can get us anything other than A. Patrick Peterson looks great out there, and he's been a leader of the secondary. He's making some good plays on the ball lately.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine having someone other than Peterson opposite Breeland. I mean, thank God. I mean, there's a reason teams aren't really going after Peterson a tons because they can go the other side every damn play. But Peterson, very quiet, sneaky season, like you said, definitely an A. Absolutely. Again, he's another one like Griffin. We'll see how he holds up through the season. But when he came in here, Roman was like, oh, his best days are behind him, blah, blah, blah. He's going down. I thought he's looked damn good.
Yeah. Definitely gets a 1 bar and Lepagus. Golf clap.
All right, those are our grades for our main free agent signings. Let us know what you think of the free agent class so far, where we stepped on our dick on the grade. Remember, hit up the WinView Games link right here, and also hit up our Patreon link to support the channel.
Hell yes. And remember this, during the Middle Ages, people believed that farting in jars and sniffing them would help prevent death.